Welcome to Easy Science for All. In this lecture number 7, we would be discussing decomposition reaction. The word decompose in chemistry means break down into simpler constituents. The reaction in which a single reactant breaks down to give two or more simpler products is called a decomposition reaction. For example, let's say if there is reactant A and on providing energy in some form, for example electricity, heat or light, it gives two products B and C, then we will call it a decomposition reaction. One more example, for example, if I pass electricity through water, the outcome would be hydrogen and oxygen. Again, here a single reactant is breaking down into two products. There can be instances where more than two products are formed. So any such reaction will be called a decomposition reaction. Decomposition reactions are opposite to combination reactions. As you already know, a combination reaction is a reaction in which two or more reactants combine to form a single product. For example, A and B, let it be two reactants and they combine to give a single product. So this is a combination reaction. This one is a combination reaction. But as we saw that in case of decomposition reaction, a single reactant decomposes or breaks down to give two or more products. So it is a decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction. Decomposition reactions involve breaking of bonds. When you try to break anything, you have to apply energy. Likewise, here there is a requirement of energy, and this energy can be provided in the following three forms for breaking down the reactants during a chemical reaction. Now, these three forms are, it can be in the form of electricity, or it can be in the form of light. So energy can be provided during a chemical reaction in these three forms, and this will result in the decomposition of the reactant. Absorption of energy causes the breaking of bonds present in the reactant. Due to this, decomposition reactions are generally endothermic in nature. But not all decomposition reactions are endothermic. For example, decomposition of vegetable matter into compost is an exothermic reaction. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by heating reactant, then such a reaction is known as thermal decomposition reaction. We call it a thermal decomposition reaction. Other name for thermal decomposition reaction is thermolysis. For example, this ferrous sulfate on heating breaks up into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. The green color of this ferrous sulfate will become brownish due to formation of ferric oxide. That is, ferric oxide has a brownish color. Also, the characteristic odor of burning sulfur is produced due to formation of sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Let us take two more examples of thermal decomposition. For example, when calcium carbonate, also known as limestone, it is heated strongly, this is sign for heat, then it gets converted into calcium oxide, which we call quicklime, and there is liberation of carbon dioxide gas. One more important reaction is there. It is when we heat potassium chlorate, KClO3, then the products formed are potassium chloride plus oxygen. This reaction is used for the preparation of oxygen. This is potassium chlorate, potassium chlorate. This is potassium chloride, potassium chloride. Next is electrolytic decomposition reaction. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by passing electricity, that is, we are supplying energy in the form of electricity to break down the reactant, then such a reaction is known as electrolytic decomposition reaction. For example, when electricity is passed through water, then it decomposes into hydrogen and oxygen, and this decomposition is known as electrolysis of water. For example, let us take this reaction. We take water in liquid form, and when electric current or electricity is passed through this water, then it decomposes to give hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas. There are some points related to electrolysis of water that always need to be kept in mind. First is, while performing electrolysis of water, a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid are added to water to make it a good conductor of electricity. Oxygen is collected at anode and hydrogen is collected at cathode. Anode is positively charged electrode, whereas cathode is negatively charged electrode. The volume of hydrogen produced at cathode is double the volume of oxygen collected at anode, and there are obvious reasons behind it. As we can see that a single water molecule H2O, or we can write it like this also, is made up of two hydrogen atom and one oxygen atom. So when electrolysis happens, what happens is that these hydrogen atoms, they get dissociate from oxygen, and as a result, for each one oxygen atom we are getting two hydrogen atoms, and these hydrogen atoms combine to give hydrogen gas. So if two atoms, or rather I say, if two molecules of water are dissociated, it means there would be four hydrogen atoms and two oxygen atoms. Now these two will combine to form O2, that is oxygen gas, means one molecule of oxygen gas will be there, whereas these two and these two will combine to form two molecules of hydrogen. It means that this one and this one, there are two hydrogen gas molecules formed. So in this manner we can justify that the volume of hydrogen produced at cathode is double the volume of oxygen collected at anode. To confirm the identity of these gases, bring a burning candle near both the test tubes one by one in which we have collected these gases. If on bringing a burning candle near the test tube, the gas present in the test tube burns with a pop sound means a explosive sound, then it indicates presence of hydrogen, as the pop sound is the characteristics of hydrogen gas. However, if the candle burns brightly, then it indicates the presence of oxygen gas. There are other examples of electrolysis as well. For example, this one is electrolysis of molten sodium chloride, and this one is electrolysis of molten aluminum oxide. In both these electrolysis, we are getting sodium metal and aluminum metal. These two kind of electrolysis are used to extract several metals from their naturally occurring compounds like chlorides and oxides. Now, light decomposition reaction. It is a chemical reaction in which a substance is broken down into simpler substances by exposure to light. It means with the help of light, the reactant is broken down into products. Now, this light can be natural sunlight or from any other light source. If the decomposition reaction is taking place, then we will call it a light decomposition reaction. This reaction is also known as photodecomposition reaction or photolysis. For example, it is seen that when silver chloride is exposed to sunlight, it results in the decomposition of this silver chloride and we get silver and chlorine. The color of silver chloride is white, whereas on decomposition when it gets converted into silver, the color of the silver that is seen is gray. Likewise, when we take silver bromide, which is light yellow in color, if it is exposed to sunlight, then it decomposes or breaks down into silver and bromine. Again, we are getting silver over here, which is gray in color. So whether it is this reaction or this reaction, in both the cases we are getting silver as a product. And these two reactions that we discussed, both are used in photography. One more example here I would like to quote is that of digestion of food in our body. It is again an example of decomposition reaction. When we eat food like wheat, rice or potato, then the starch present in them decomposes into simple sugars. They decompose into simple sugars like glucose. Whereas the proteins, they get decomposed into amino acids. So we have discussed three types of decomposition reaction. First is thermal decomposition reaction. Second is electrolytic decomposition reaction. The third one is light decomposition. So that's all in today's lecture number 7. If you have any queries, you can send in those queries. Thank you.